We are here.
Wait, does it look lopsided? Why does it look lopsided?
The shot? It does. Maybe it's at an angle. Let's just get everything even.
Wait.
Yeah.
Wait, now sit down.
Just a little kicked.
That's something much better.
There we go. Yeah, because you brought it in tight.
Yeah.
Like a big dog. You lean forward, I lean back. It's fine.
All right.
Just try not to look small where you're going to eat me or something.
Whenever you're ready.
All right. I am the Spawn Ranch Worker, bringing you the original Spawn Ranch Worker, Mr. Stoner Van Houten. We're going to welcome him on his own show today. Thank you so much for coming into the studio of Twilight. And David Rogerson, painter, writer, trippy dude. I'm so stoked that you're letting me host your introduction for your fucking dope-ass internet show. Thanks, guys.
No. Right on.
You're the best, Stoner.
I've never been on a show before. Actually, that's not true. I've been on some show. I've been on Brian Dave. I've been on some other show. I take that back.
Yeah, but...
I was on Netflix. I forgot.
Were they with love? They're not worth remembering. That's why you remember them, not with love. It's like a good tattoo, you know what I mean? You don't remember the guy who did your tattoo? It's like it wasn't that special.
Exactly. Well, I remember them. Actually, I remember.
Yeah.
I actually do remember.
That's what makes them cool.
Yeah. So what's up, man?
Man, I'm so glad you're here because we were here recently speaking. This is part 2, if you're unaware, dose.
Yes.
Of a discussion about the second night of the Tate LaBianca case. And we're talking about the LaBianca murders that don't get a lot of attention. There's a lot of things that are actually hung on them. We're looking through 3 different filters to refresh your memory if you haven't watched the first video. And if you haven't, there's a link right here. Check them out. Stoner's very, very meticulous about it.
Have the link right at the bottom.
Boom. So we've got a very loose, I think, very realistic. I haven't read this, but what I know of Nicholas Schreck, he's originally from the Los Angeles area. I believe he's done mentally altering substances. He's seen politics and punk rock and life. And so I understand his filter. I think he understands the criminal filter we had talked about earlier that Charlie espoused. I think he got to know Charles Manson well enough to have an affinity for his feelings. That's where that filter comes in. This one, George Stimson, a great advocate of his good friend, I believe, Charles Manson. They had a different relationship. There's different critiques of their relationship. We've got a lot of people in conversation that don't come up. You know, Michael Channel says different things and blah, 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 blah. Until his book comes out and until it's a standard, we've got these 3 filters. I believe these 2 are on these 2 diametric sides on certain things. I think this is to be taken very lightly. I think it's the benchmark because everyone's read it. Charles Manson has stated previously, times, dates, places. He thought the rest of it was a fantasy according to what he said. I think anyone involved in the case, the other filter we have to take in mind is who's still in jail, who was in jail, who wasn't going to get out of jail. So there's a lot of truths don't get told, I think, because it's to not hurt their brother's freedom.
Right.
Now, you and I talk a bit about off topic. So these are the 3 main filters we're going to use. About the motivations on the second night. Because the ones that get hung on it, the points that get made that I think are relevant. We've got Rosemary's wallet dump. That was used very much by Vincent Bugliosi in the Helter Skelter thing.
Right.
I'm not sure about the logic of those things, and so we could talk about some of that.
Talk about that. I got some stuff to talk about that. Go ahead.
Please. I'm very interested in the chronology. I kept trying to back it up, and you're concerned about not running too long. I understand, but for me, just what you said last week, and this is what I want. This is me. If you got bad stuff to say it about me, because Stoner is like. He has responsibilities now because he's cultivated friendships he can't discuss. within certain circles, and it's just not germane, right? So he doesn't speak on things that I want.
Well, I have something I could speak on the very first night compared to the second night that we didn't. I don't think
that I want to know about. Yeah.
Yes, that I don't think we've even talked about.
Please, but the being high and all of that.
Let me just throw this at you. So before the first night even happens, Bobby Beausoleil is in jail, and what? Now,
what are your thoughts about the murder car? He's in fucking San Luis Obispo with all that evidence.
It doesn't even really matter. The point being is that he's in jail, and Manson needs money for an attorney. Now, here's my question: is how come that's what he needs money for an attorney? Now, how come after the first night, after 5 people and a baby are dead, how come the attention goes from you needing money from an attorney now you need money for this straight Satans? Didn't you need money for the straight Satans prior to the Bobby Beausoleil with the attorney? So wait a minute. So you weren't concerned about the fucking bikers. You were more concerned about Bobby because you needed an attorney. But then after 5 people and the baby are dead, now you're like, oh no, we need money for the bikers. They're going to come and kill us. They're going to rape the women. They're going to kill. Wait a minute. So you don't care about Bobby anymore? So now, I'm just saying. So did Manson's attitude change all of a sudden in 24 hours? It changed from we need money for Bobby. Now we need money from the bikers so they don't kill us. Wait a minute. So what about Bobby?
Well, the whole thing is, that warrants the question then, if we're going to get into the bikers, okay, I've had a problem with the mescaline the whole fucking time.
What's your problem? Was it mescaline or was
these
it real?
Motherfuckers who write these books, they've never done any goddamn mescaline.
Wait a minute, though.
Dude, do you know what doing some fucking mescaline is? And then bikers? Do you know how much mescaline $1,000 would have bought you then? What in the fuck are they? That doesn't make any sense. So whatever. That aside, okay, the drug dealer in me, that blew that. So then we've got.
But you're not willing to try something new?
Oh, dude, I love mescaline.
No, I'm not. I'm just saying though. Isn't that the latest thing? Like, okay, first there's marijuana. All right, then you get bored with that. All right, there's cocaine. All right, I'm bored with the cocaine. I'm bored with the heroin.
Drugs.
Why do you think there's goddamn fentanyl today in 2024? Because people are bored with cocaine, heroin.
Well, they had it back in the day.
Nobody gives a shit about cocaine, heroin, and weed. Yeah. It's all about new prescription pills. That's not the point of this video.
These are drugs.
But I'm just saying though. But don't you think?
Well, you said that the MDMA might have been the reason for the first night.
Right.
So
well, think about this though.
Cutting edge drugs. That's
because marijuana was already socially acceptable, and they've already done LSD because of all the things that go on in San Francisco. So they already knew about that. And then all of a sudden, you're at a party, and you could be the first person to give your friends, "Hey man, I got this new trip.
$1,000 worth though.
Right.
Bro, that's an incredible
And you're the coolest
amount.
person in the city because you're the only one that has it. So that, come on, at the time.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm just saying at the time, not now.
No, these are the discussions. Yeah, right. I don't want to fight. That's an interesting discussion.
Right.
That's cool.
Debate.
What do you guys think about that though? Do you seriously? That's an interesting thought. Maybe he wanted to have more.
Yes, I would totally want to be the guy who was introducing a new drug.
I hadn't thought of it in those terms.
I'd taken before, and I just imagine it. Okay,
you get to be the gateway guy.
Think you were the first person who ever did LSD. And then you want everyone else to know about it. And then you give it to your friend. They love it. I
love doing it.
Everybody loves it.
Absolutely.
So now you become the man. Now you are Oswald. Okay. You are Oswald.
So then that was going to be his. And he got. Oh, now that you say that. Okay. So you've got an Owsley drug supplier character.
Right.
If he got to be known because Hinman's behind him. So he was maybe going to be the face of this new drug.
Bobby Beausoleil? No, he wanted the prospect for the straight Satans.
That's what I'm saying. So he's trying to walk into the straight Satans. What a better way to do it?
First of all,
if he was their supplier, though,
Bobby Beausoleil's a dumbass. First of all, look.
No, but hold up. If you think, let's just say that the mescaline was a hit. If you're going to go with the mescaline, let's just say that was the thing. Right. He became kind of mescaline kingpin. He wants into the club. He wants to prospect. He's getting his bike together. And then he's got this dope. Well, you're fucking in. That is a different motive. I had never considered that. That's fucking cool.
Let me tell you this, though. Because you say...
But he is a dumbass.
Okay.
He's too soft to be a biker.
You know bikers, right?
Yeah, he's too soft. That boy was soft.
Hung out with Hell's Angels. You all know. Yeah. Okay. So answer me this.
Soft.
So do you think maybe the bikers were just fucking with Bobby? Like, hey, man, score me some dope.
Yeah.
And let's just say the dope was totally fucking good.
And they just...
But you know what, man? I still want my fucking $1,000 back. You fuck you, motherfucker.
That was the first thing I thought.
And you what? If a biker... Exactly. So you don't think they punked his ass? Look, even the dope might have been fine. Yeah. And they just would have punked, dude. Yeah. They don't give a shit about him. So don't come on, you fucking know, Dave.
Right. Well, you and me on the street.
You've hung out with these people.
Well, you know on the street buying and selling drugs. So how many times have you been like,
they could have just
you kind of want some more, and you'll run up on the guy and be like, bro, I'm not saying it was bunk, but come on, look me up. No, I'm saying now, like, our experiences on the street. Well, you know how drugs work. There's always this weird, different motivation.
There would be a shooting now.
But back then, you would punk somebody like, hey, man, like, I didn't get off on that acid. And we'd get another hit, even though we were tripping. You just walk up to the guy. Right, but you used to be able to do that, like, at concerts.
It's all about fucking intimidating everybody and shit. And you know that, man. Right. So how do you
know? They still punk you now. The club is like...
Exactly. How do you know? And let's just say Bobby was really trying to prospect for him. So how do you know they weren't fucking with the prospect?
Well, exactly.
All right, or get some dope. Yeah, dope is, you know what? I want my money back. Yeah. Get the God. I swear to God, we'll beat your ass. And fuck. Come on, man. So look, here's the thing about this case.
I never considered that element. That's cool.
It goes in so many.
That's true. That was logical, and that adds up.
And let me just say this though: there is an interview with Bobby Bose. If you're trying to think like, well, where are you getting this information? I'll tell you where you're getting it from. Bobby Beausoleil gives an information, and I think it's in Manson's final words, one of his last interviews, where he says he's prospecting for the straight agents. Which, look, I don't understand why. Because if Bobby Beausoleil is that good of a musician and a good studio musician, and he's played with all these famous people,
I've seen
why would you give up your life? Okay, hold on a second. What I'm about to say, please don't find this disrespectful. Not to say anything bad about bikers. But to give up your life and everything to become a biker, really? Well, you know you're going to break laws, and you know things are going to be on the edge, and you possibly might go to jail. But you could be a studio musician. You could possibly play in a band, go on tour. I'm just saying, you're not gonna be. I don't know if you're going to be famous, but you have that much talent. Yeah. Why would you want to be a biker? You're a great guitar player, man.
Do you think maybe it was drug intake? Because he said it himself recently.
He's good looking. He can get all the women he wants. Right. Why would you? I'm just saying the way.
Susan, at that time. Till she ran her mouth, I thought she was cool.
I have no idea why Bobby was dealing with
I've seen a lot of really dynamic people get sucked into the club.
Let me say this though, hold on.
Big time.
From 66 to 68, clubs were really cool with the hippies. Okay? Clubs were cool. Sure. And I'll give you an example. When Altamont finally came around, if you guys ever watched Altamont with the Rolling Stones, and they hired the Hells Angels to be security, and they gave them beer and cocaine.
What was a truckload of beer and a bunch of dope.
Right, a bunch of dope, right, exactly. Now, listen to this for one. So, up until that point, if you know the history of San Francisco, the Oakland chapter, Hells Angels, stuff like that in Oakland, they were cool with the hippies in 65, 66.
Well, they were their monetary, everything was cool. Their source.
You're right.
They were selling acid and then later speed.
Right. And if you even watch in the video of Altamont, when the Grateful Dead were supposed to perform at Altamont, they didn't perform. When they showed up, Phil Lesh, who has many friends in the Hells Angels Oakland chapter, when he found out that the Angel was beating up the lead singer of Jefferson Airplane and those other people, when you watch, you guys know what I'm talking about, when you watch that video and they're beating up, he's like, what do you mean they're beating up? He couldn't believe it because they got along so well. That's when it finally turned, people. I'm serious. Yes, the Angels and everybody.
It's so funny because the club is so sick of hearing about this.
It's true. But after 69, it changed.
Well, there was a
from
palpable
65
thing.
to 69, everything was cool, and then it went south. Go
ahead. It's coincidental and it isn't true. What sucks is that everyone goes back to it, but they go back to it for a reason. And it's just like this whole Manson thing where everyone, it's such a great catchphrase, the end of the 60s. Hippies no more. What if that hitchhiker would murder, slaughter your family, and write with their own blood on your car? They'll just do it on the road now and drink your baby's chocolate milk and eat some fucking watermelon out of your ice chest. Like, dude, it was scary. And then all the TV shows about bikers chain whipping people. Right. Even the Rockford Files got into it. You know what I mean? Like
the Rockford Files.
His buddies, remember, hey Jimmy, I'm here with the Rattlers. It was a whole thing. And then they would take any growling, angry-faced little girl and make her look dirty, and she could be now a potential murderer or whatever with this dialogue. But yeah, Cupid, having been around Albert Lee, having had this talent, having ostensibly been super welcome around the ranch, not just because of his lady roster, but because of his musical talent. To commit to a club. I hadn't really. Right. That is a lot to sacrifice.
Now let me just also tell you.
Now, do you think that was? He says it's real. Now,
he says it in an interview, so I'm not.
Do you really think like Venice and Donkey Dan and those guys were that fucking alluring? Was it that?
Well, that lifestyle, yeah. I mean, even to this day, I think even today.
I see people getting into. I mean, I got all these bikes over here.
Okay.
On either side of these five bikes.
I'm going to answer your question right there, and I'm not. I have no association with the biker club or anything. I know you do, but I'm just saying right now. Think about right now. It's 2024, and I see more guys out there thinking that they're bikers. They ain't bikers, but everybody wants that. I understand the look of it. It looks cool. The bike, the leathers, this and that. I gotta get your motor running.
So it's like a form
get out on the highway. I get it. I get the whole allure of it.
So it's atavistic. It's atavistic.
It's commercialized now. If I was a member, I'd be mad. I would be like, dude, come on, man. Look, because that's
Sons of Anarchy.
Exactly. Perfect example right there. Sons of Anarchy.
The crow flies straight.
Right. But Marlon Brando started back when he was a biker, for Christ, and you know that. So
that's
it goes
cool.
all the way from Marlon Brando all the way up to Sons of Anarchy. Yeah. So yes, the lifestyle of it, everybody wants to be free. They want to do what nobody wants to be told what to fucking do. Does anyone,
ride on bikes.
You want to be told what to do? Do you want to be told what to do? Nobody wants to be told what to do. You want to party, you want to get high, you want to have chicks, tits, this and that party. Oh yes, you do. Yes. It looks alluring. Yes, it does.
Boobs.
Yes. So you say, oh, I want to grow. Yes. Fuck yeah. So
I like boobs. It's true.
But this is okay. But you have to remember, people. Here's one thing I want everyone to understand: when you talk about Manson and the Manson family, and you talk about the '60s, it was a different time. It's not. You can't apply 2000.
And that does. Those words get so beat down. Wait a minute. Wait. Right. Let me just Storyteller D is gonna hop on the wagon here. It was a different time. That is such a beat ass term.
Right.
Let me just
different laws.
I'm 56. Right, let me take you, I was born in 67, so let me take you down memory lane. At the time these things were happening, I, like my daughter, my little eye opened up early. I have very super early memories. I have a photographic memory. And the things for me that were happening were, there was fear. My parents in the desert would talk, they were called black Muslims.
Really?
Yeah, the goddamn black Muslims are no, don't get me wrong. The Dixons down the street, they babysit our kids. The black people are fine. It's you know what kind of, they're ghetto, they're trashy, they're just, you know who they are. But anyway, these black Muslims. So different groups, the Chicanos were getting armed. The American Indian movement hadn't been crushed. People were just picking shit up. And then, like me, I don't even think about it, dude. Like right behind me, I've got 2 sniper pieces right there with really nice glass on them in my garage because I keep them clean and those are the ones I take out to the range most. And dude, you just shoot all the time. That's just how the fuck it is. It was guns. There was a lot of political fear. People were getting religious. People were getting anti-religious. You just see just groups of naked people in the desert. You'd see them we'd go up in the national forest. It was no big deal to come pop around the corner and be like, whoa, there's fucking 8 to 20 naked people right here. It wasn't a big deal, dude. Like, it wasn't a fucking big thing. Like, the shit you're seeing now, and we try to describe it, it doesn't seem real. Saying it was a different time, you cannot conceive. There was no information. You're out in the forest alone, right? Anything can happen.
Right.
You know what I mean? It's like, there's no, unless you'd experienced it, it's inconceivable to have a true understanding of it. That's why when this whole thing of the second night got brought up, if you've never done drugs, if you've never done methamphetamine and lost any sleep behind it, if you haven't, you can't understand being up for days at a time. The whole thing that was decent in the Weird Chaos book was he broke down some of the repetitive movements and he really focused on it being a speed-related thing.
Right.
The rest of the stuff, I don't have time for.
Right.
The physical crime stuff and some of his like interviews were good. that's what you do. You hype, you move. It's a thing. You're like, all of a sudden you're going to do something, but then it becomes something more. It's like you're fucking Randy Macho Man fucking Savage over here. You're going to do the damn thing. The neck happens. You're just like, oh yeah, brother. You can't relate it if you've never been in it because it's a complete state of psychosis. So you're in a drug-induced psychosis. You've got Susan Atkins, who, when Casey Fields says, that bitch would rather ball than brawl.
I honestly believe, no, first of all, I totally believe that. Okay, let me just say this about Susan Atkins. You want to talk about someone's ego and their whole image being blown up more than it was? I don't see her as a killer. I see her, and I mean this.
That's what
I actually mean this respectfully. She was a whore. She wasn't a murderer. I think
she's a professional.
She would have rather fucked Wojtek Perkowski than fucking killed him.
I've heard so many people say that.
Look, think about this. Okay. Okay, Susan Atkins, before she met Manson, she got kicked out of the house. She was already there on San Francisco up there on Market Street, stripping at that little strip club down the road, staying at that fucking little motel place. It was like $12.50 a week, $12.50 a week. She was staying, and then she got kicked out because she ended up having her Johns there too much. So she was whoring on the side, and this is before Manson. So think about this. This woman already psychologically was already fucked up, and where's Red's book? Even in Red's book.
Oh, dude, you know where we keep it? Right here on the right fucking hand, baby. Where's Red's book?
Okay.
Oh, dude,
even in Red's book.
We call it Mama's book.
And I've gotten in trouble about this with Red because what she's actually thought about Susan and what the girls have actually thought about Susan. Mm-hmm. And it even says it in this book. And I'm not going to go into it because I got in trouble with it. But anyway, but look, Susan Atkins, she's not, in my opinion, she's not a murderer. She didn't kill Sharon Tate. She did not kill Sharon Tate. She probably held her down, and she probably said to her,
said crazy shit.
She probably said, "Hey, bitch, yeah, we don't."
Because she's high as fucking.
And there's nothing.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Do you think her and Tex were hyping each other up, and they've been fucking? Because she apparently was just
Tex is just this
piece of ass, and he's a psycho, and they're on speed, and it just unlocked it.
Right.
So they've been fucking and hyping each other up.
I don't think Susan's murder instincts unlocked because of the speed. I think
no. I'm saying she is just talking shit, and there's my guy. He's doing the thing.
No. I think she's a dog that just is all fucking bark and no bite. Okay.
Well, that's what it seemed like.
There's no.
And then she snitched everybody off. So
just because you tell somebody, hey, I don't give a fuck what you think, bitch, you're gonna die tonight. Yeah. Technically, is that illegal? That's a threat. That sounds like a threat. It is a threat. But did she actually kill her and like put the knife in her? No, I don't.
Well, dude, she pitched her knife. I think she pitched her knife in the fucking.
I
think she purposely.
Think about this for 1 second.
Knife.
Let me ask you.
I think she threw her knife in the child.
Let me ask you this. So, out of both nights, out of everybody that was killed, the 7 people, let's just start with Sharon. I think Tex killed Sharon. I think Tex killed fucking Sebring. He shot him. I think Tex killed fucking Wojtek Perkowski. He stabbed him 56
times.
Dude,
that guy was big. Now,
Abigail Folgers. Here's where Patricia Krenwinkel comes in. And let me tell you right now, people, all you have to do is just go to the coroner's report.
Flickering light.
No, go to the coroner's reports. Okay. The coroner's reports.
Do we have links for these things?
Right, we'll put the coroner's reports down there.
And the other link for the thing we talked about earlier that I don't remember. If you go to the coroner's
reports for Abigail Folgers, you'll see she has more defensive wounds because I feel Patricia was so sloppy with the knife and not really knowing how to use a knife properly. So why do you think she has that gash on her face and on her wrist and this and that and this and that? And it's kind of like she's fighting. She almost had honestly, if you think about it, if Pat doesn't have the knife, it's actually a fair fight because they weigh about the same and they're both about the same height. They're both about the same height and they both weigh the same. So technically it would be a fair fight. The only difference is that Pat has a knife. Now,
once she went there with intent.
Because you got to remember, Abigail was still able to...
She's in shock.
Well,
she's like, what the fuck's going on?
But she's still able to run. Yeah. So she's able to run outside. So I think she finally gets out there. And then Pat probably finally does finish her off. But Tex does do a thing before he leaves the house where he goes to each individual body. And
he gave him a shank and
right, just make sure. Right, yes, I think so.
Really? Because
here's how you can tell. By the coroner's reports.
Were they postmortem?
Everybody who had a knife, it was a different size. So when you look at the knife wounds on the bodies, on the victims, the width of the knife, Tex having the biggest width, the biggest one, that's Tex. It was like 1.5 inches. He had like a buck knife or some shit.
Like
Yeah.
a big hunter.
And then fucking other one.
Everyone had like a
if you look
fixed
at the
blade.
width, right, and then the other ones were a little bit smaller,
Folders.
so you can tell who.
So those were folders.
Right, everybody had. So it's not like everybody had the same exact knife. No, they didn't.
Because he handed them out of the ranch and showed us how to stab everyone.
Right, it was 3 different knives, so you can tell who killed who. But Tex basically kills everyone the first night. Pat kills a little bit. I know some of you are going to say that Susan stabbed Bortek in the leg or something like that. I don't know about that.
Dude, homie.
But Susan,
just
Susan never, let me make this clear. Susan,
Yeah.
I feel Susan never puts a knife in Sharon. Never. No. She held her down, says, fuck you, bitch, you're going to die.
Okay.
All that stuff. Okay, that's evil and that's wicked. And maybe scratches her on the face because they have to
Bitch.
but I think Kasabian's there though too. I also think Kasabian's there holding the ankles down because look at the coroner's report on Sharon. Yes, look at the coroner's report on Sharon.
Really?
There's wounds on the side of your neck, like someone's holding you down, and I think even on the
contusion.
like someone's holding you. Yes, and then here comes somebody else to finish you off. I'm serious.
Oh shit.
So, but Tex kills everybody. I think the only person that Tex doesn't kill is Gary Henman. Honestly. Oh, and lots of Papa. Those are the only 2 people that Tex doesn't kill. He doesn't kill lots of. Oh, wait a minute.
Well, because Papa didn't get burned.
He doesn't kill lots of. He burns them, but Papa, obviously, Manson cheats him, and then he doesn't kill Gary Henman, but everybody else in between. He actually even helps kill Shorty Shea.
Right? Yeah, Shorty.
He even helps kill Shorty Shea. So he kills everybody. So everybody's saying like the Manson family, the Manson girls kill everybody. What Manson girls actually killed anybody except for Patricia? So there's only one real Manson girl that killed anybody, Patricia Krenwinkel.
Damn.
That's it. I mean, that's it. Well, Leslie Van Houten. Okay, wait.
She got a couple. She says post-mortem.
Leslie Van Houten. Okay, I take that back. So it's Krenwinkel and Van Houten. There you go. So it's Krenwinkel and Van Houten. They're the only 2 girls who actually did anything. So it's not like all the Manson girls did any. That's it. So nobody else did anything. So I think a lot of things.
And at this point, how many Manson girls do you feel there are?
Real ones?
Because in those raids, in the raids, they were like.
Oh no, I think there's probably only like 5.
True core.
Yeah. There's only.
No, but I mean, 5. In the group that were hanging around at that point.
That's the only problem. It's a lot smaller than people think. Everybody thinks like I know everybody thinks, there's like 50 people in the Manson family. No. Honestly,
no. But in the
it was Mary Bruner, Red and Blue, and Cappy, and fucking Nancy.
Any group
That's 5. I would say at least. I would say those 5 right there. How about that? I would say Red, Blue, Cappy, Nancy, and oh god damn! That's 5 right, and and I didn't even say Gypsy right there.
Well, so
she came later. You have to remember. What you have to also remember, she's old. 27 is old in the Manson family, and that's old. Sure. That's why Gypsy didn't put up with shit, and she. I'm just saying that's why the shit happened with her because she had the balls to fucking actually stand up like somebody older would, which makes more sense. So I get that part of it, but that's another story for another day.
She held her mud, brother.
She did. No, she totally held her mud, man. But as far as like original girls, it was Mary Bruner.
Well, no, what I'm saying is
Mary Bruner,
I meant
Cappy,
more physically.
That's what it was. It was
Mary Bruner.
It was Mary Bruner, Cappy, Nancy, Lynette, and Sandy. That's 5 right there.
Right, you got that. No, I hear you.
That's it.
But what I'm saying
my opinion, that's it. And then the guys came later.
No, what I mean is, that's of course. I mean, at the ranch, at the moment, right there in August, how many people, how many women were there? You had Country Sue, you had all these different people. You had those people who bounced when they heard about Hinman, what's her name? Bounced.
No, I don't think so. I think actually not that many people were there.
Physically there. Okay.
Because if you think about it, after the murders happened, then all of a
that
sudden a lot of people actually showed up after.
Well, the raid afterwards, it was like huge. There was like 30, 40,
right, but there are
people.
What about Jenny Gentry? She didn't even get there until like 71, until after people are already. So a lot of people associate themselves with the Manson family after the Manson family actually got arrested. So they never met Charlie or the other 3 girls. But they met the remaining members that were left over in January of 70 and shit like that.
So some of them were
and then now they associate themselves with the Manson family. Hi, my name is Jenny Gentry. I was in the Manson family.
Remember she called up
Little Paul? Does that mean
she called Little Paul on the show?
Yeah, exactly. She called Paul.
And he's all like, I don't really see where this is going.
But it's not that you weren't a part of you were associates of them, and you knew them. I'll give you that.
Why is their name in your fucking mouth?
There is no Manson family.
Why is your name in their mouth?
It's a band called Family Jam.
Why is your name in their mouth?
Because they're just trying to get get their.
And that's what I'm talking about. Fuck that. I think that's weak as shit.
Well, that's not necessary too, because a lot of people do that, and that's what actually I've done for me.
Right, but I
on
think
my
you're
YouTube
sincere
channel.
about it.
But my YouTube, okay, and also my YouTube channel.
Have
First
you
of all,
wait a minute. Have you made? Well, how much have you made off this?
off of YouTube, nothing.
Okay, so no, right. So have you been enriched by this?
Okay. Look, the only reason why I do
Yeah,
what
that's
I do,
what I fucking
you're
thought.
right. The only thing that I do off of YouTube is
It's a sincere
the reason I do this is
thing.
because I'm just trying to stay out of prison. That was the whole intention. In 2011, when I started my YouTube channel, I was trying to keep myself occupied, so I started a true crimes channel, and I just happened to use the Manson family because I live in Chatsworth, California, and I lived right across the street from Spawn Ranch.
There was all those bicycle
So it was very
too,
easy for me to do a YouTube channel on this in 2011. So that's all. That's the way it started. I didn't realize, and no pun intended, but I didn't realize it was going to spawn into actually that pun intended. I didn't realize it was going to spawn. Into meeting people and all this other kind of stuff. I had no idea. I was just trying to keep myself occupied so I wouldn't go to prison. And now it's been this November will be 13 years of me being on YouTube. And because of the Manson family, I'm the only one that can actually say that because of this story, it's the most positive thing in my life, in mine. I can only speak for myself. Do
you know how nuts that sounds to people outside
Exactly.
who don't have a pretext of who you are?
Right, exactly. They don't. They really. You're right. They can't comprehend that.
Charles Manson.
But if I wasn't doing
saved this man's life.
Exactly.
He sounds like a crackhead.
Yeah.
But no, here's the thing. Here, I'm just going to interject this if I could. Okay, all these years later, was it 55 years later since the crimes?
Yes.
Because we wouldn't really know about any of these individuals if it weren't for the crimes. Let's just say that. So the crimes were horrific, the victims suffering incalculable, and their families lost just beyond words.
Right.
So we understand that. But we wouldn't know about these ancillary characters that you and I seem to be more interested in if the crimes hadn't occurred.
There wouldn't be the show, first of all.
Right. And so what I'm saying is, it's kind of a strange thing to get into, but the way, like, I got brought into it. Similar thing. I'm from the area. I never thought about it. It was kind of a tainted subject. It was, I don't know, maybe you like young girls. Well, dude, you don't have to talk about it. You know what I mean?
Right.
No one's gonna call the cops on you, but it's like he's got all those, Manson books. You know what I mean? In my town, it wasn't a positive thing. So the fact that I thought the stuff kept finding me, and what I realized was it wasn't that the initial collection found me. I've had to meditate on this a lot. Why is the door here? Why are these things here? It's not about the objects. It's not about anything. I think my childhood, these things were in some way predestined. I can't understand it. I don't want to sound like, what's up, chosen person? I'm a shaman. But it's very interesting to me that I've taken on this custodial role. I don't understand it. It's evolving. I can't say what's going to happen with it. People are like, oh, do this museum or whatever. But I think there's a reason for it. And so I understand what you're saying about it being helpful to you, because I want to build on that, because 13 years later, I feel brought close to yourself, to Casey, to Catcher, to Dawson, to George, to other people as a gift. I wouldn't have known these people. I care about these people.
They're good people. No, they're good. Yeah,
right. Dude, so he's making family. Right. 55 fucking years later. Right. There's family. And I think it's fucking cool. And I really dig that I've gotten, it's weird to say I've gotten a great piece from this, man. Like, understanding things, coming to terms with my past, reading these various quotes in these books and understanding people's points of view. It's made the language fresh again. Like, it was a different time. You can't say that anymore. It's like the word love got beat up. If we have to constantly refresh our receptors to read anything by Manson or anything involved with the family or of that time, because our palate is so jaded and beat up. The word love has been so fuckeried. So you have to really reread it, because my daughter is 7 years old now. And a lot of the things that come home from church, because she goes to a Catholic school, a lot of the quotes are like from First John and these different things.
Right.
You want to talk about some Charlie Manson, baby. Dude, they're right there. And if you open your heart to it and you see these words, it's interpretations of existing wisdom. And I've had this information, these book forms, for a long time. But now that I'm understanding to cleanse my palate and re-humble myself like a child to read these things, absorb them, and read them again. Like, I can't wait to start this new Shrek book, because the little one, I've had it for years. It's a baby book.
Yeah.
And dude, I have to, just like I say, it's like being a sommelier, right? You have to cleanse your palate. You have to cleanse your palate to even think. Because these were individual statements. They're crammed in there because, like a good historian,
right,
as a young man, he's thinking so far ahead, Nicholas Shrek was, that he got the information. Say whatever you want about the guy. He was there. He seems very sincere. He has a great level of integrity. His communication is wonderful. I can't wait to read this thing. I don't know. And again, it's not, you have to agree with everybody. And I feel a round table with everybody would be great. And what pisses me off, if anyone would have had the courage in the 80s, think about, what was that show? It was a black chick. I don't really remember her whole thing.
Oh, wait. In the 80s? Oh.
Right. It was George, or maybe 90s. It was George. And he told me that he and Blue only went on the show because the other Bug and everyone was going to be buzzsaw.
Yeah, I forgot. Yeah.
That's how these people get sucked in. I don't feel George or anyone's an intention whore. They're trying to mitigate damage. And once they get into the editing room, you can't do a fucking thing, unfortunately.
Right.
And I think they've been tricked into these things.
Yes.
And that's why we're, unfortunately,
yeah,
probably never going to hear from Blue, and it breaks my heart.
Yes.
Because if someone would just put out a pH balance and just step back.
Yeah, but it's been so long and people are
getting old. So abused.
I think a lot of these people actually don't care anymore.
But no, they can't. Well, why would they? You're getting older, you're tired.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, why do you guys, like, they kind of look at us like, why do you guys still even care?
Well, here's why I care.
I get it.
Well, I want to be the Latino Boogerville. You shouldn't get spit on anymore.
Shit.
You shouldn't get spit on anymore. No, everyone's dead. We're gonna get this narrative hooked up right. And what I'm saying is, they went on this show. Bug is on there. If Bug had any heart, and it wasn't this shitty format, and everyone sat down, you had Bug, you had Blue, you had George, you had these different people, and there was an actual conversation, that'd be fascinating. No, because what I like, here's why I say that. It's such a bold, weird statement. That's why you're about to dismiss it. Rightfully. No, Braven, here's why I dug Braven. His book was super cool. He got the players of Lynn's 75 trial back together. You can see it on C-SPAN. We'll try to get the link together. It's a wonderful way to spend some hours. He gets the lawyers, all the different people back together. The way they recall Lynn just winging that, just knuckling that apple, just exploding it between dude's eyes. Dude, these are people who are trying her potentially for the death penalty for one of the most, spectacular crimes you could potentially be involved in. They're over here like, oh my God, I think she could have gone pro. Saying stuff like this, like she missed her calling in baseball. What? Like they clearly had great affection for her,
right,
even in this adversarial situation. That's where the fascination comes in. And that's why I think people don't understand. That's why when you said that, hey man, it kept me out of prison, bro. And you know what? I appreciated it, but I didn't understand it till I got some wisdom kicked to me personally. And it fucking changed my life. And I sound like a kook when I say it, but it refreshed my palate where I can read the words of Charlie. I can read Lynn's words. I keep her book with me at all times. My daughter trips and knows a lot about her and says a lot of nice things because that's what I say. Or just I get inspired a lot because in times of trouble, right?
That's right.
Sister Lynn comes to me. There's wisdom in all of it. And so, yeah, thanks for telling the truth about how you got into this and being honest about that.
That's right. I mean, I've told this over and over and over again. I know I'm on my 3rd channel now, but so please subscribe to my channel, which you're on right now. But no, man, yeah, that's all this is that's at least for me, like I said.
It's a form of gratitude.
It's just it keeps
That's
me
why I don't think
like
you're
if I wasn't doing
advantage of
this,
it.
then I would be in prison right now. I swear to God, I would be. All right, Stoner Van Houten here. We got to get going.
We didn't even talk about the second night.
We already did. No, we did. In
Sorry.
the first part, it's already been about 40 minutes. That's enough right there, man. So
now I
Stoner Van Houten here. David Rogerson. Anything last? I'll give you 1 minute. Go ahead. Anything else you want to say?
We're going to go have some burgers and hang out.
Yes, go. Go get some burgers.
Please, in the comments.
Yes.
In the comments, check it out. What do you think? I'd like to have Stoner back more. I think it makes it easier to talk. I've got hella questions. He's got a lot of knowledge. My thing is, I want everything to be civil. If you're going to say something,
Right.
Let's keep this civil. I want to restart a lot of what we're doing because he's got this new channel. I'm saying we because if you like this, I would like to reoccur.
Yes.
I would like to talk to you more.
Yes,
because
we should definitely do another project together. Yes.
I want to talk to other people. I want other reflections on. I mean, there's so many characters. Rosine.
Right.
Tex. Dude, Tex. What the Tex? Whoa. So I just want to be able to talk like that in a different way. I think things are too cut and dry. We don't have an agenda. I think we can talk about filters. We can look into different information. I think it'd be possible to have some guests and talk about some things. I want you guys to understand and think about where do you see things going, not just with conversations, but with this whole Manson study in general, because I think it's time for us to put some egos down and maybe look at a research center type approach to this where we can have neutral language and neutral conversations and put everything aside for the furtherance of putting any discourse out there. I'm not looking for the information. I don't want to argue with you. Put everything you have. Vomit. And then I think we just look at the gullet and everyone takes what they want. That's how I freaked out Bo Emerson was. I vomited on him because I wanted him to see if there was anything he could use. And he was just like, but that's this world. So thank you very much. In the comments, let us know what you think. I'm having a lot of fun and just Stoner, your friendship and the friends you've allowed me to accrue through this project have really changed my life, and it's a very humbling thing. So if you guys are wondering why we're doing this, maybe it sounds weird, but I don't think he is an exploiter or trying to make a name for himself off of this case. I think you genuinely experienced something wonderful, and this just keeps finding you. And I just feel open to whatever it is I've been called to do in service of whatever is happening. Right. These things came to me. They're not mine. I'm in service of these objects. I'm in service of the people who made the objects. I'm in service of something that is helping me receive wisdom from my elders and become a better person so I can answer my daily prayer to God, okay? I'll just share it with you. God, allow me to be a better man, human, husband, father, provider. That's my mantra. That's
Amen.
It. And my elders now that I've been exposed to have shared a lot of great wisdom with me to settle my heart because I've been alone for a long time. And I'm more emotional. You're very realistic. And so thank you for bringing these points of view together and let us know what you think.
All right, Ray. It's the David Rogerson Show. Here we go. Here, thank you so much for joining us.
Stoner Van Houten.
Take care, everybody. Thank you so much for watching. Yes, all the links will be on the bottom of this video for everything that we talked about here. And please check them out. And please...
We're taking no credit for anything. This is all great information.
Exactly.
People have done a great deal of work.
Exactly.
We're commentaries. We have feelings. That's about it.
And just make up your own mind on this. And we're not telling you what to do.
Great to talk.
Exactly, man, my friend. You were awesome, my friend.
Thank you. I love you, brother. Seriously, you're...
He's great. He's great, isn't he? David Rogerson, people.
I just want to support you, dude. Whatever I can do for you.
You're awesome, man.
It's in service of it, dude. That's all it is. I've been humbled.
Take care, everybody. We're out here. Great video.